Elle here from Beyond Expectations. In this video, I'm going to be discussing when you stop losing weight, if you've hit a plateau, and moving forward from there. I'm going to read out the question and then I'll give you my answer. And it goes like this. I've hit a plateau. What should I do to continue losing weight? Should I just keep doing what I've been doing and wait, or should I eat less calories and work out more? I've heard arguments for both of those options and I'm not sure which to do. Please help. Thank you so much for your great question. Now, this is quite complex, so I'm going to do my best to assist you and help you to move forward. Now, there's one of two things that can be the problem here. First of all, it's your method, or second of all, you generally have hit a plateau even though you are doing the correct method. Now, in order for us to figure out what it is, you're going to have to gather more information. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to grab yourself a body fat scale. You need to figure out whether you're losing the actual fat from your body, okay? Because if you're just losing weight, you could have just lost water weight, and there's only so much water weight you can lose. You need to lose actual fat off your body to reshape, transform your body. Because once you get rid of the layer of fat, that's where you got the defined midsection, where you're going to get the defined physique from. So do that, get yourself a body fat scale. Secondly, you need to also be taking girth measurements, which you can use a tape measure or you can use a piece of string, preferably a tape measure, where you take centimeters or inches from around your body. I go through this in more detail in my free ebook, 7 Rules from Beyond Expectations, which you can head on over to Elle and grab. That shows you where and how to take girth measurements. This is critical because if you're not losing body fat that week, but you do lose inches, you're still getting smaller. So you need to do that. So they're the first two things. You need to get yourself a body fat scale to figure out exactly where you're at. You need to take girth measurements. Now, be sure not to measure yourself every single day. It would be like looking at your savings account and hoping that it increased every single day. You need time for it to work. So just like you would need time to gain interest, you need time for your body to change. So if you measure yourself, for example, on Friday at 10 a.m., make sure you don't measure yourself again till the next Friday at 10 a.m. Or if you measure yourself on Saturday at 9 p.m., make sure you don't measure yourself again till the next Saturday at 9 p.m. Whatever the case may be, give yourself a week. Measuring yourself every day is just going to drive you mad and it's not going to help you long term. Now, so after you've done that, you need to gather the information about what you're currently doing to figure out if it's the method that you are doing, and if it's wrong, you need to keep track of what you're eating. So if you have Fruit Loops for breakfast and a muffin and a coffee on your way to work, write it down. Don't skip writing it down, and don't try to just eat really well that week, but you don't normally eat that way, because then you don't know what you need to change long term. So write down your normal pattern of what you would normally eat, and don't kid yourself. Make sure you do that, because then you can figure out if it's your method, because that'll be very clear to you if it is your method. Another good hot tip that I've found is if you can write down how you're feeling whenever you had that particular naughty treat, because I've found from experience that often when I'm going through something, I will feel like something delicious, probably to self-soothe. So for example, if you're really stressed at work, things aren't going so well with friends or family, whatever, and you have something yummy to eat, it was probably triggered by emotion. So it's important to also write that down. If you can keep track of your sleep too, that's great, because if you don't get enough sleep, your cortisol levels will be risen, and therefore you're going to be prone to storing the body fat. So all these things are very important before you can make the accurate decision of whether or not it is your current method. So once you've gathered all that information, then you'll be able to make better decisions on whether or not it is your diet or whether you need to exercise more. I can pretty much guarantee you from my own experience that more chances than not it's going to be your diet. For me personally, I did 90% diet, 7% weights and 3% cardio, because regardless of what happens to me in my life, I'm able to keep my shape and physique by my nutrition, because I can always have control of what I put into my mouth. So for you moving forward, before we decide whether or not you have hit a plateau, be sure to gather all that information. Measure your body fat, take girth measurements, do it once a week, keep track of what you're eating, also your sleep patterns, your emotions, and also how much exercise you're doing. But once you get a clear guide of exactly where you're at, then you can make the right choices of whether or not this is the method working for you. I hope this helps. Please head on over to Elle.com, grab your free copy of 7 Rules. It's going to help you to pinpoint where you are and where you want to end up, because ultimately figuring out where you are is very important. If you don't have all the information, it's very difficult to know if your current method is working. Thanks so much. Give this video a big thumbs up. Leave me your questions. Thanks for stopping by. See ya.